Okay, my Ready to Love fans, we got another episode to talk about. We actually had 4 new people join. We had a conversation about French sex talk, the conversation of being submissive, and one elimination of a lady. Welcome back to Romance Review TV. It's Lady T. I got another recap for you guys. Ready to Love Season 7, Episode number 2, Tickle My Pickle. And without any further ado, let's talk about what went down in Miami. So, while it seemed that the show was going to pursue less being more, 4 new people joined, 2 women, 2 men, and there were a few shakeups amongst the matches.
This party of 14 is about to be 18.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Cynthia and Jonique.
Hello.
Hi. Come right over here, ladies. Yes, sir.
Cynthia's beautiful. Same color as me. I was like, girl, how you gonna come in here with this green? But you know, she wore it well. So I was okay with it.
Ladies, let me introduce to you Fabrice and Mark Anthony.
Okay.
All right. Come on in, bro. All right. Now that I've added a few more of Miami's finest to the mix, it's time for you all to make them feel welcome. So be sure to introduce yourselves. Let them know if you like what you see. Now, to my newbies, after you get to know everybody here, sending you out on your first group date.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
So yes, despite Tommy making it seem like this season would start with 16 and dwindle down, it was just the initial mixer that would have 16, and then the follow-up would end up being 20, leading to Mark Anthony, Fabrice, Cynthia, as well as Jonique joining the group. Okay, so let's talk about some of these dates. So if charm is a skill, and it is definitely one for Andre and Tony because they have clearly mastered it. So Tony is a bit more focused on not spreading himself around too thin as he got to know and bond with Marcia. As for Andre, though, Jeffrey gets his attention, but thanks to how she wears her dress, his eyes and mind wander over to Cynthia.
I had to come and find you. I missed you.
Yes. Oh, come here. Here, give me some love.
I know. I'm like,
Remember this, when I'm with you, I'm not seeing anybody else. You know what I mean? I give you that one-on-one attention.
oh my gosh.
Hello there.
Hi.
Can I join you guys? I'm
Absolutely.
sorry.
It's not even a question.
You guys were engaged in such a deep conversation.
I'm always so privileged to have the most beautiful one, right?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
You know what? Energy attract.
Ah.
Right?
Okay.
These girls are thirsty, honey, in Miami. But if Andre is supposed to be my guy, we're going to end up together anyway. So I just let him do his thing and realize that.
I hope so, because actually that conversation led to this.
Oh.
Look at them eyes. Ooh, don't look at me like that.
You know what to say, man. He is that guy. He's gonna compliment you like your heart will be set on fire. Well, I had a great time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Great
We
conversation.
gotta do this again.
Yeah.
I'll be waiting for your call.
I waited too long.
All right.
Cynthia has definitely raised the bar to stage everything for me.
So yes, look like his eyes and his mind wanders over to Cynthia. And honestly, it seems that if you are the most interesting lady in the room, Andre will switch his focus over to you. But it isn't just those two making moves and connections. Look like our new guy, Mark Anthony, and Mercedes connect over her being a flight attendant and him going for his pilot license. Also, while Tony has a notable solo date with Marcia, he also shows some chivalry towards Jonique, making her feel very liked and appreciated as well. So, did all of the solo or group dates go well? No. Z and Blake go out, and in his effort to push her to open up, he doesn't give her anything to work with, so they are mutually awkward, and that date went terrible. And then there's Fabrice, who wanted to shock the women who kept bringing up sex, and Jeffrey was not here for it. Marcia got uncomfortable, and it seems that he was in a race to the bottom with the way he was acting with the women. So the guys have the power, and which ladies go home? Is it Z or Corvea? Corvea may have turned off Lyndon by making him feel insecure, and maybe her desire to be treated and provided for raised red flags for the guys. Z was shutting down to the men, and here is the end result.
The group made a decision.
Okay.
Ultimately, the guys decided that you weren't ready to love.
Okay.
They felt like you had everything to offer, but you weren't giving enough of you. Like, everybody had the same question of, like, who are you?
Yes, so with Z shutting down ended her time on Ready to Love. She went from quirky and fun to constantly questioning herself and everything, which was why she was in the bottom two and focusing more on that than what saved her the first time. Hence, she was eliminated. So here's a question for the show. If the men and assumingly the women both get an opportunity to give someone a second chance, can that trigger the possibility of a double elimination? And then the women have the power next time. Who do you guys think will go home? Could it be Blake or Fabrice? Blake, of course, for the past comments that he's making, and he's straightforward and a straight shooter, which kind of rubs some of the women the wrong way. Fabrice, because he talks about sex too much. And then when it comes around again for the women, could it possibly be Sue-Ann and Jonique? Now, Sue-Ann remains barely seen. We hardly see airtime from her or heard, so it might not look too good for her. And then there's Jonique, who, you know, what could probably take her down is that she has that new addition luster, but with the way that she presents herself, she could just get lost in the group somewhere, if not get that homie girl vibe. And then again, as we get to this new episode, do you see any new final couples? I know we kind of talked about Demario and Corvea. What do you guys think about Anthony and Marcia or Morgan? And then Mark Anthony and Mercedes. And you know, it can be hard to say, you know, especially when it comes to charm or someone having something small in common that could lead to a spark, not a flame. I mean, it's still early in the seasons and we got new options on the table. Things are kind of shifting around. Tony is definitely bonding with Morgan and Marcia, and that, you know, maybe he isn't using his faith to bring down the defense. And he might be, you never know. But, you know, thinking about all that, him bringing strength-faced financial stability is making him a hot commodity right now, especially with these two ladies who, you know, he's competing for. And then Demario and Corvea, yeah, they have to gain more than appreciation for each other's fashion sense, but there could be something there, especially in a no one else may put us in their top, but we are each other's type of matchup. I mean, even with Mark Anthony and Mercedes could become something, even if it's just because of their love of planes and flying and stuff like that. Andre, I don't know. I mean, if he can bring himself to focus on just one woman, it could make someone happy, but him settling down might be an issue. Then there's Sue-Ann and Jeffrey. You know, they seem to have an interest in Blake. So despite his comments, maybe he can actually bounce back with them as well, you know. What do you guys think about Corvea and Jeffrey and Andre? You know, they're the main ones who get to talk and get asked for their perspective. And like we saw in the previous episode, you know, it's one thing regarding them as having personality and a gift of gab. However, it does seem kind of odd for such a focus to be on what just two cast members think, while everyone else is just, you know, getting a little bit of commentary here or there. So let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about them kind of starting off with a smaller group, eliminating folks, and then adding on 4 people? What do you think about some of the newly forming couples? And what do you think about Fabrice and that whole shocking conversation just to see what he can find out about the ladies? So I hope you enjoyed this recap. Stay tuned for the other recaps coming up this week. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Bye.